hands up.
Is better than mine. Well, hello there, Vlad here. Welcome to Seinäjoki, Finland. And I'm here with my friend Peri. And right away, it feels weird to see you here in a city that's next to the place me and my wife, who's behind the camera, we grew up like in this area. This is weird. Hello, by the way.
Hi there. Yeah, we've been here before. So we've headlined here in 2011, and then they asked us back again. So whatever. What year is it now? 2022? Yeah, 11 years later, we've come back. So yeah, really good festival, Provinssi festival, which is one of our favourites actually.
That was a fast callback. Only 11 years later.
Yeah. But yeah, the crazy thing about this festival is the fact when you're on stage at midnight, or I think we're on stage at 1 a.m.
Yes,
it's still light. And that was very unusual for us, because we have night time where we live. And so it was very odd, very unusual, but quite amazing because the Finnish crowds are absolutely insane.
You need to try to get to one of those like Northern Finland festivals at some point, because during this summertime, there's like a several month period where the sun doesn't set completely at all.
Yeah, no, but we've never been invited to one of those. Yeah, so we'd love to. Yeah, invite us. People in charge of the Northern Finland festivals, give us a call.
That's a free ad for Pendulum, I guess. What's it like being touring again?
It's amazing. We did our first gig as a full band in Miami in March, this March that's gone. And that was our first gig as a full band in 1,180 days.
Whoa.
So our last show before that was New Year's Eve 2018 in Perth in Australia. But, and obviously then COVID happened. We took a year off to do some recording, and then COVID happened, and they were like, oh. And now's the chance that we get to do live shows again. So we did Miami to start with a few months ago, and then we did Hungary last weekend. We're doing, obviously we're here in Finland this weekend, and we've got a bunch as well in August.
That's good. Did it come back naturally, like the whole touring, routine, or did you have to relearn some things?
It's weird being on stage again, because no musician really has stood on stage holding their instrument in 2.5 years, and it's really odd because you're on stage and it feels weird because everybody's been sitting down. Playing their instruments more or less for the last 2 years, and it's weird standing up in front of an audience because you go, right, what do I do now? Do I jump up and down? Do I just stand here? I can't remember. But it's weird how your body gets used to. Well, to start off in our first gig in Miami, the pain I had in my muscles.
Oh yeah,
because I do quite a lot of headbanging on stage, but a day after the show, I was on the flight back. I felt this pain on my side. And it was like, oh God, that really hurt. And then it was in spasm for about a week afterwards.
Oh,
just from headbanging. Yeah, remember kids, don't headbang. It really hurts. But it's okay now. So I'm getting back to kind of match fitness. But it was an odd sensation. But yeah, because your body does. Well, my body especially wasn't used to playing live again.
I mean, there are definitely like certain muscles when you stand like this the whole time. And if you do it for a couple of hours, it just, I get it.
Well, I too, because of the way that I stand, I really damaged my hip. used to get hippositis.
No.
So I went to a physio, and the physio told me, that's what he told me. He was like, I paid him a lot of money for this. He said, when I play like that, it hurts my hip. I said, yeah, you've got bursitis. How do I get rid of that? Don't stand like that. I was like, okay. So I didn't stand like that anymore, and I'm fine now.
Do you have any pose?
Any pose?
Like a new pose when you're playing?
Yeah, it's kind of just like that, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, as long as you don't have to get like one of those guitar stands where...
I quite like those, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe do like a song or two, like a ballad or something with those, and then you can go back to headbanging again.
Yeah, unfortunately, Pendulum don't have any ballads whatsoever. We've only got one song in a major key. Do you realise that?
No.
Yeah, just one song, and it's in the key of C major, weirdly enough. C major, no sharps, no flats. But we did release the song last year called Louder Than Words, and I just realised, this is in a major key. I said, guys, we've got a song that's in a major key. Everything else is a minor key because we're really, really miserable people.
Yeah, true that. I wanted to ask about, you've been fairly active on the Line 6 Facebook group, I think, right? Yes. You have a super cool setup. Viewers will be seeing like a screenshot of what you posted. Tell us about your rig a little bit. I love the philosophy you kind of explained in that post, like how you approach. You're the only guitar player in the band, so that immediately affects how you design your rig, right?
Yeah, because, I usually play with, my setup is kind of wet, dry, wet-ish, or left, centre, right, because it's basically it's kind of like a surround sound thing-ish.
Yeah.
But my helix, the way I used to do it, my helix is in stereo, and I've got a Line 6 Grandmeister that is in mono, bang, down the middle. So wherever you stand in the audience, if I was just using the helix in stereo, if I was on the far left or the far right of the audience, you could only hear the left or the right. So you're only hearing half the sound. So the way around that is to put something mono in the middle. So if you're on the periphery, right and the right, you're hearing the right-hand side of the sound, but you're also hearing another guitar amp in mono. So you're getting, that double sound, you're still getting it on either side of the audience. So I've been doing that for about 14, 15 years, ever since we started, in various different ways. We used to do the Receptor and with Houston Kettner triamps, but now then it went smaller, and so did the Line 6 Helix and the Grandmeister, Houston Kettner Grandmeister, which is an amazing amp. But now, because with these shows, we need to strip out stuff, the equipment down even more.
Sure.
It's because we're doing a lot of fly gigs, and we needed something as small as possible. So instead of the Grandmeister at the minute, I've got a Helix Stomp in one of the effects loops of the Grandmeister. So that's the mono. You still got the left, right, and then you've got the Helix Stomp in mono. So at the minute, I'm using that this summer just for portability, and we had to keep the equipment down because it's just an easier way of doing it.
Are you using some sort of, what's it called, like double tracking, like effects, I guess?
I don't use. There's a great one by TC called the Mimic, but I've run out of. I've all my effects loops in the Helix I used up. So and the Mimic is great, but that's how I do it. In the Helix, towards the very end of the chain, there's a dual delay. So one side is 0 milliseconds and the other side is 25 milliseconds with the mix at 100%. So one side is delayed by 25 milliseconds. It's kind of a chorus effect, but you don't get the modulation. It's just doubled. It's slightly delayed. So you get that thickness with that, with the mono amp in the middle, mono amp sound in the middle, just makes it sound huge.
Well, if there's ever like bands or music where I'm fine with using chorus effects, I think yours just fine. Works just fine.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't sound like a chorus because it's if you chorus with an overdrive sound makes it sweetens the sound up quite a lot.
Yep.
This doesn't. If you just use a delay, it's just a doubled effect and it just fattens it up. So the problem with chorus is when you use stereo chorus, you lose a lot of the bottom end because it's modulating all over the place. So but if you use I like 25 milliseconds on one side and just fattens it up. It's a nice big thick sound, and we really need, because I'm the only guitarist as well in the band, we need as fat a sound as possible, and I've kind of developed that over the years. I don't really know anybody else who does it like that, but it's such a simple way to go about it, and it's really easy. It's so easy, but yeah, but it works.
Nice. Do you have many guitars with you on the store?
Two. Yeah.
The main one and a backup, I guess.
Sort of, yeah. The main one is my PRS Custom 24 Floyd. I've been using that for the last 8 years, I think.
The grey one?
The grey one, yeah. It's beautiful. It's just an amazing guitar. I just love them. And then kind of the backup is another Custom 24, but it's the piezo one. So we've got the piezo in the bridge. So there's a couple of songs in a set with an acoustic sound. So I just flipped to that.
Nice.
So I've the acoustic output on the PRS goes into a TC body res.
Yeah.
Because with any DI'd acoustic, it sounds a little bit plasticky.
Yep.
You stick it into a TC body res. I'm not sure how they do it. I think it's an IR. It must be an impulse response, I think. But and you stick it in, and it makes it sound more like a mic'd up acoustic guitar. So and especially because my Custom 24 solid body guitar, it hasn't got any acoustic resonance at all whatsoever. So this really helps with that, and it just sounds pretty damn good. So. Yeah, and through the helix then I can switch between the magnetic pickups and the piezos, or mix both of them together. So after the body res, it goes into the aux input, the auxiliary input into the helix. So I've got guitar input, magnetics, auxiliary input, piezo.
I'll try to drop in some clips of these sounds, because the show is 1 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's quite a while until that.
It'll be like this.
It will look almost the same. Yeah. Maybe slightly darker. But yeah, I'm going to drop in some clips. Check out their band. If you haven't already, as I mentioned before, we have some fond memories of your band from way back when we were doing our summer jobs, and the local youth radio played some Pendulum, and it was great.
Cool.
Brings me back to those days.
Right.
But yeah, great seeing you, and we shall see you at the show as well. All the YouTube things, and you know how it works. Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Is that what you do?
Yes.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, exactly.
Hit that bell. Is it there?
I don't know. It's somewhere on the screen. Click the things on the screen and something will happen. Yeah. Bye.